Coming up on the Football Today podcast, we take a look at EPL Matchweek 22, which kicks off on Wednesday morning. What are the doomsday scenarios and big calls? Myself and Stats Guy break it all down. In the second half of the show, trivia question. I take a commanding lead before going on a rant about a certain coach who is definitely not leaving his position at the end of the season. What are the Australians abroad up to? Does Katrina Gorry want to break her neck? Who knows? Check it all out because Football Today starts right now. Hello and welcome to the Football Today podcast. It is Tuesday, the 30th of January. We are here to preview EPL Matchweek 22 because, well, the FA Cup happened over the weekend and let's be honest, apart from Maidstone United winning, there was no real shocks. I'm your host, Alex Donnelly. I'm usually joined by Marcus. I don't know where he is, it doesn't matter. But I am joined by the Stats Guy. He's here. He was only 5 minutes late today, so let's give Stats Guy some credit.
Oh, I definitely wasn't late. I was just raring to go for the football show. I got my Ajax top on. Not the biggest Jordan Henderson fan like half the world is at the moment, buying his tops, but I love a bit of Ajax.
Fastest selling Ajax shirt ever.
I got a mate that's got family in the Netherlands, and he's saying, I don't know why. They've had so many legends at that club.
Probably because a player of that quality has never gone. They've left. Yeah. It's him coming there, I'm saying.
It's a bit weird, though. Anyway, good on him.
Yeah, good for him. He's earning $120,000 a week. Boo, friggin' who. Anyway, and that's in euros as well.
Jeez.
Anyway, we are here, as I said, to preview Matchweek 22 of the EPL. But as always on the Football Today show, we start off with a yeah, nah. I've got it for you today, Stats Guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, nah. Liverpool will win multiple trophies this season. As of note, before you give me your yeah, nah, they are currently top of the Premier League. They're in the Carabao Cup final. They're still in the FA Cup, and they've waltzed through the Europa League top of their group. So they could win the lesser-known quadruple this year.
Well, yeah, they're really good. I'm going to go, yeah. I think if you got your hand in all those cups still, and obviously they're top of the table in the Premier League. I backed them a couple of months ago to win the Premier League, so that's a tick for one of the trophies. The multiple one I think is going to be the Carabao Cup. I think especially at home. Oh no, sorry, not at home. It's at Wembley. But Liverpool against Chelsea. I think Liverpool are flying at the moment, so I think they'll beat Chelsea in that one. The league's obviously going to be a bit tougher when Man City are starting to climb a little bit as they always do towards this part of the season. But I think they'll win at least the league and the Carabao Cup. That's what I reckon. So I'm going to go a big year on that one.
Well, I reckon they'll win the Europa League and the Carabao Cup.
Oh, and the Europa. So they could win 3 or 4.
Yeah, it's going to be this year in Klopp farewell tour, which we'll talk about in the second half of the show, is going to be something because that announcement came out of nowhere. Anyway, that is the second half of the show. Let's talk about this EPL match week that kicks off tomorrow morning. Yep. By this time tomorrow morning, we'll basically be halfway through it. I'll either be really sad or really happy. As you can see, I'm in my Arsenal ladies alternate kit right now, the Stella McCartney. Shout out to the Arsenal women, the 2-0 win over Liverpool on the weekend in the league.
Very nice.
What is your big call for this match week, Stats Guy? Because we do a big call and a doomsday scenario before we run through them. Yep. What is your big call?
I'm going to go 5+ total goals in Villa versus Newcastle. So you had Newcastle was at 3-2 against City the other week when City
2-3.
2-3 the other way around. Yeah, when City just got over the line. They had a 3-3 draw this time last year between Villa and Newcastle. I think it's going to be just an absolute goal fest. And actually, it might have been in pre-season the 3-3 draw.
Didn't Newcastle absolutely pants them to start the year? They
did as well. So that was really high scoring. That was 5+ goals as well. Actually, I forgot about that.
I think it was like 5-0.
Yeah, it was 5-0. So I think it's going to be similar. These two guys have just been playing, these two teams, have been playing really attacking the last few weeks. So I think it's going to be absolute goal fest and just really good game to watch, especially Villa Park. They love to score goals. And Newcastle, their defence has been a bit iffy. So it could even be like a 4-1 to Villa, the way Newcastle are going. But I think it could be like a 3-2 to Villa.
Okay, we'll get into that game after this because my big call for the weekend is that Luton Town knock off Brighton.
Really?
Luton at home.
The Hatters.
I'm calling it at the moment. It is going to be one of the hardest places to go to for the rest of the season. They've slowly built into their season. They're one of these lower level clubs, and that's with all due respect. They
in terms of money and things like that.
Level.
Yep.
They are creating not a fortress, but they're making it very tough to go there. Chelsea struggled to break them down. Man City struggled to break them down. Liverpool and Arsenal struggled. So for some of these non-Big Six clubs, they're going to struggle to go there because if Luton are going to stay up, they're going to have to nick a couple of points and some wins in these games. And I think they can, similar to what Nottingham Forest did last year.
Yep. Don't mind that.
Yeah. Leading into from big calls into what is the worst that can happen for a team or a person or anything really. What is the doomsday scenario for this match week? My doomsday, Crystal Palace, they lose at home to Sheffield United. That is my doomsday. Because, they got whipped 5-0 by Arsenal in the last match week. They were horrendous. Stayed up till 2 a.m. to watch it. As an Arsenal fan, very happy. Great time. But by geez, it was like, this is a training drill. They weren't even trying. It was bad. Their fans weren't happy, and you saw them whenever they sort of put the camera onto their owner, Steve. I've forgotten his last name. He was sitting next to one of his mates as well. You could hear the boos through the crowd audio. So it's like, ooh, Crystal Palace fans not happy with their ownership at the moment. And makes sense. They are playing horrendously.
They've got I think we've talked about it on past podcasts, that they've got a decent team. I'm not saying it's like going to be top half, but their team with a lot of good young guys. They're not using their young guys to their advantage, I don't think.
They are remarkably mid-table is what they are.
But they're lower now. If they lose this one, and if you just say Everton win, they're closer to the relegation zone.
And again, Sheffield United, this would get them 3 points that they desperately need, because you assume Burnley aren't going to win. This would get them up to 19th on the table.
Up to 19th.
Yeah, but with potential penalties to come for Notts and Everton.
True.
Big result.
19th or 18th could be what they're going for if the points deduction.
They've just got to aim to be basically with 9 points behind Notts or Everton when they get fined.
I wonder if they have a meeting about that. You come in, boys. We don't have to be out of the relegation zone. Just hope they get points deductions.
If we're 18th
we're
9 points behind Notts and Everton, we could be sweet.
Oh, that would be a funny team meeting just to be part of.
It's going to be a fun couple of months leading into the end of the season.
It is, unless you're an Everton fan or a Notts fan.
Their problems, not ours.
Yeah. My Doomsday, Wolves beat Man U. I just checked. If they beat them, they jump them on the table. So that means, let me double check. That
doesn't matter positions, they just jump them.
Man U could go into the bottom half of the table. That would just be an absolute horror show for Man U the way they're going. We do like to bag and rag on Man U. I said it a couple of weeks ago, they weren't going that bad. They are. If they lose this week, that's a real Doomsday scenario. They're back into the bottom half or 10th to 11th on the table. So not good.
Stats guy coming out swinging. All right. Let's just run through these games in match week 22. And I've just literally looked at the fixture list and we're just going all the way down to the last game. I think the last game of the week is Wolves and Man United Friday morning.
Oh, that's a big game.
So tomorrow morning, I'll be awake. Nottingham Forest take on my beloved Arsenal. This is at the City Ground.
Yeah.
Arsenal do have their struggles at the City Ground. They lost here last season. That also had Notts tick off their safety for the season as well. I think Arsenal earlier in the day had found out that they couldn't win the league as well. I think Man City had already won, so it was like,
that's right. It was a
all
weird
that
game,
happened. Yeah, we had Rob Holding playing in just central defence. It was horrendous. Centre half. Yeah, how's he going at Crystal Palace? Yeah, that's right.
No, not good.
Notts have lost 4 of their last 5 home games though, so they're not in great form. They're trying to find that attacking spark. It is funny that their win was against Manchester United, as we've been sort of ragging on them a little bit. I think another break between games has been good for Arsenal because Declan Rice had his hamstring issue. Gabriel took a knock to the knee in the win against Crystal Palace. So coming back, getting the big win, while it would have been great to play the following week, it's an extra 3 days. It's probably better for some of these players. I wouldn't be shocked if Thomas Partey makes an appearance off the bench here because you never know with Arsenal and their injuries. They've been saying, oh, he's not fit, he is fit, he's not fit. I will believe it when I see him in a squad, and knowing Mikel Arteta, it's timely that Ghana are now out of AFCON as well. So if he's back on, gets 10 minutes from the bench, it's good for Arsenal in the lead-in. Overall, I think Arsenal just simply better. They dominated Notts Forest in the opening day of the season. I know it was only a 2-1 win, but that was when we had the, oh God, Arsenal typical catastrophe in defence late in the game.
It was, yeah.
I think this is a simple win for Arsenal. 3-1, 4-1, comfortable win. An early goal would be very nice as well, just to settle the nerves as a Gunners fan.
Yeah, I agree. I think
take the crowd out of it.
I think you'll score early, and then that'll sort of settle the crowd because we have talked Notts Forest. They have a decent crowd, but the way they've been playing at home, you cannot be back in Notts this week. They've been really bad, and I think Arsenal just starting to hit their straps a little bit as well.
Yeah, watch Matt Turner turn into prime Buffon.
Because it's against his old club.
Oh God, it'll suck. Anyway, Arsenal win. Luton and Brighton. This is interesting. I said this is my big call that Luton will win, so I don't really need to go too deep into it other than Brighton in their last 5 are 1 win, 3 draws and a loss. Luton at 2-1-2. So, similar vibes.
Yeah, I'll go a draw just because I don't really trust these guys in attack. Like Brighton, I can't believe how bad Brighton. They obviously started really strong. They were in the top 4.
A lot of injuries.
Yeah, but just a lot of guys up front. Other than João Pedro midweek in the FA Cup, he looks really. Over the weekend, he looks really strong. But a lot of the other guys, Evan Ferguson's gone missing.
Evan Ferguson's 18.
Yeah, he's
19.
18.
Like, but you can't expect an 18, 19-year-old striker to score 2 goals every week. It's not like he's playing on a wing or playing, as a left back or a right back, where you can slowly acclimate. Like, let's remember, Bukayo Saka started off as a left back.
True. That blows my mind.
You're not putting them at a central piece right up front. It's very hard to do.
I agree, it's very hard. It's just that he started so well and we sort of expected bigger things, but he's going to be massive the next couple of seasons. The thing I worry about with Brighton is their last 2 Premier League games, they haven't scored. It's been 0-0 draws, so I think it's going to be something similar, like a 0-0 or 1-0, just because these 2 teams in attack, I don't really trust them. I would love Luton to win this one because, we love them rising at the table, young, up-and-coming team, but I think it's going to be a draw.
Fulham and Everton, this game could be really boring.
Fulham aren't too bad.
They're not going great at the moment. Fulham have only scored 2 goals in their last 5 league games. Everton 2 in their last 4.
Wow.
This is my Marcus Bazzano 0-0 draw.
Oh, you've gone. Well, shout out to Marcus. Usually gives us 5 draws a week. I'm gonna go with. I'm going to go Fulham. I think they're not too bad at home. I know they've had a lot of draws and just lost by 1 goal, but they just need to finish. I think Jimenez scored last game in the EFL Cup, so I think against Liverpool he did really well there. I think he can score against Everton. Everton have been really struggling. They need to lift for their fans with all the point deduction rumours are going around, but I don't think I can trust them away. If this was at Goodison Park, we've mentioned before, that's a pretty hard place to play, but at Craven Cottage, I'm going to back Fulham.
If Tony Khan could stop tweeting the USA Network about wrestling and stuff that people really don't care about in the long run and focused on buying Fulham a new attacker, it may help them out. Seriously.
Is he too much on Twitter?
He went on this rampage like a week and a half ago about, all I see is people complaining about this. It's like, hold on. As a wrestling fan, I was like, hold on.
Oh, you're a wrestling fan?
No one's complaining. What you've done is awesome. You're just making a mountain out of a molehill. You probably saw one tweet that you didn't like, and it's like, everyone's against my ideas. It's like, actually, a lot of people are like, this is going to be sick. And side note, it was sick. Buy an attacker, Tony Khan.
Don't worry about the wrestling. Just get on Fulham.
Got to build up to Sting's last match next month, mate. Come on.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait.
Don't you dare disrespect Sting, or I'll kick your ass in this office.
I just know that, the guitarist. That's about it. Oh my God, I'm going to slap you. Anyway, Crystal Palace take on Sheffield United. As we said earlier, this is a very trappy game for Crystal Palace. Sheffield have scored goals in 5 of their last 6 games. The one game that they didn't score in was against Manchester City. As I said before, Crystal Palace were absolutely horrendous against Arsenal. Didn't try. I think we can say that if they don't win here, Roy Hodgson will get sacked the following morning. That's a big call, but you're probably right. I think, like the way he's playing, I don't think he's playing well. Like I said, I think they've got a lot of good young guys that aren't really being used in their system. They're not getting the ball up there enough.
They tried to play 3 at the back against Arsenal. It's
That's just
dumb. What are you doing? It's like... No,
there's no team in the league that really should be, other than maybe Liverpool, that could play 3 at the back.
Arsenal sometimes try and do that when Zinchenko inverts, and sometimes Man City do it as well. But it's like, you've got William Saliba and Gabriel back there.
Yeah, exactly.
For Manchester City, it's like you've got any one of 6 players that you could rotate off between. It's ridiculous.
I am a bit worried, but in their 2 FA Cup, so the FA Cup and then the replay they had on the weekend, they didn't score in 2 games against Everton, who have been horrible as well. So, I think this could... I'm going to go Sheffield as well. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I'm going to go Sheffield as well. Let's get around the Blades. They're playing a bit more positive than Palace, so we'll go them.
One of the games you're excited about, Aston Villa and Newcastle.
Yes.
I'm thinking Aston Villa at home will just win this. I think this is one of the locks of the week as far as if we're saying one team is certain to win. I think it's Aston Villa. They've won 16 of their last 17 at home. They do need a win. They've only won 2 of their last 5 in the league, but Newcastle this year away from home are pathetic. They are 1-2-7. They are 19th in the league away from home.
7.
I haven't checked who's 20th. I'm assuming it's Sheffield or Burnley.
Probably, I reckon it's Sheffield. Oh.
Maybe Luton. It's one of those.
Nah, Sheffield, I reckon, yeah.
But Newcastle away, no bueno.
Jeez. Yeah, I'm really excited for this game because I think it's going to be really high scoring. But if it does get into a really high scoring match, you got to back Villa at home because they know how to demolish teams at home, especially with that 6 in the last 17 record. So got to go the Villains.
Oh, that game's tomorrow morning as well. It's 7:15. I'll catch the second half.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, Man City and Burnley. Manchester City win. What's the score? 6-1.
As you would say, this could be an absolute whomping 6-1. You reckon Burnley will score?
Yeah. They always, they can nick one.
I reckon I'm going to go even bigger, 7-0.
Why not? 7 goals.
I reckon De Bruyne is going to come on in the last 10 minutes and get a couple of goals.
Yeah, if you do that, what do? Do you start De Bruyne and have him play the first 20, or do you bring him on at the 65th minute and finish off?
Yeah.
Or do you not play him at all because it's Burnley, but it's like you need to get games into him?
I think you need to get games. I'd bring him on in the second half at some point, maybe like 50th, 60th minute. He'll score a goal, get an assist. He'll might even score a free kick.
Fantasy.
Well, I'm worried about fantasy.
That's the second half of this show. Second
You
half.
brought it up.
Yeah, I know. It was just like, yeah or nah. Tottenham and Brentford. This should be a pretty good game. Ivan Toney now back for Brentford. Obviously scored the other day, which then adds some stability to the squad. Tottenham going all right at the moment. They lost obviously in the FA Cup last week to Manchester City, but they've only lost one of their last 6 games. James Maddison is back, so they're getting back to full strength slowly. I mean, defensively, they've still got a host of issues.
Yeah, I think this will be really close because Brentford look a lot better with Tony back in that side. The one thing that's annoying me about Tony's return is the praise and like, oh, he's back, he's a legend and all this stuff.
You do realise that anytime someone famous gets like suspended for something, when they come back, when James McDonald got done for betting, it was great. Damien Oliver done for betting, greatest thing ever. I think Michael Rodd got done for a positive drug test once, came back and won the Melbourne Cup. Greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
Sport loves a redemption story, stats guy.
I know, but the redemption story when a guy, I don't know.
Sandro Tonali is going to make the greatest comeback ever in 6 months.
Probably, yeah. I don't know. I just don't like all the praise he's getting for someone who did some illegal stuff in the game. But
he had a bet.
He had a lot of bets. He had like 100 bets, but yeah.
So?
We love, I know you don't mind a bet, but if you're playing professional sport, you're a bit of a nuffy if you're doing that. Anyway, Spurs, they've only lost one of their last 6 league games. I know Brentford have look a bit better with Tony back, but at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, they really need to change that name, as we say every week. I think they're going to get the job done.
Just get a sponsor, Daniel Lee.
I know, get a sponsor with that stadium.
Liverpool and Chelsea. So this is a Carabao Cup final preview, basically.
It is.
Poor Chelsea. They have to walk into Anfield. First league game after Klopp has announced that he's leaving.
Yeah.
Can you guys handle the heat?
Probably not.
Yeah,
Well, the last 7 meetings in all competitions have been a draw. I had to triple check that. 7.
Yeah, we were having a laugh about that earlier in the year.
So I'm going to tip a draw just because I always wanted to. I would love it to be a draw as a Chelsea fan. I don't think it's going to be, but if you go by the stats, I should go by the stats.
You are the stats guy.
So last 7 meetings have been a draw. That's the longest streak ever.
Seven of them being draws, shouldn't that mean, statistically speaking, and odds that there should be a result?
Like in roulette or something. If there's been red and 7 times in a row, surely a black.
Yeah, but that's I could go down a whole rabbit hole between percentages and what's going to happen next.
In being honest, I think Liverpool are going to win at Anfield. They'll be absolutely fired up for Klopp leave. I still can't believe Klopp's leaving. That's pretty. I know he's been there a long time, but it still came out of nowhere. I think they'll be absolutely fired up. They should win, but I'm just going to tip the draw because it'd be funny if there was 8 draws in a row.
As an Arsenal fan, I don't want Chelsea to win, but also as an Arsenal fan, I need Liverpool to drop points.
You guys, so you secretly want?
I kind of want Chelsea to win.
If we win, we move up to 8th.
Yeah,
so it doesn't affect you guys.
But it'd be great for Arsenal that Liverpool is. But realistically speaking, I think Liverpool are way too good for you.
Oh yeah, especially at home at Stamford Bridge, we have a really strong record, even the last couple of years against Liverpool, but at Anfield, we're probably not going to be too easy.
Yeah, probably 3-1.
3-1, yeah, fair.
West Ham take on Bournemouth. The highlight of this is Calvin Phillips actually gets to play more minutes in this one game, you'd think, than he has all season so far. He may play
last 2 seasons, I reckon.
He's only played 89 minutes so far this season.
Oh, for a guy we talked up last podcast, one of the best passers, really good holding defensive midfielder as well. Can hit some long shots as he showed for Leeds a couple of seasons ago. I'm very excited that he comes into this midfield because their midfield's already pretty solid. You got Ward-Prowse in there. Yeah. Sort of comes in as that Declan Rice replacement.
Watch him just play a banger of a ball to Kudus and they score.
Yeah. So I think he's a really big in, and West Ham have shown that even new guys can come into that team and go really well. So I think he's going to go really well. They're clinging on to 6th. West Ham, as we said, they've sort of dropping off a little bit. They're still clinging. 6th, absolutely clinging. Bournemouth won 6 of their last 8 matches across all comps. So I think this will be a really close game.
We said that pre-Liverpool game, or 6 of their last 7, and then Liverpool stomped them.
Yeah, I think no one was beating Liverpool at the top of the table at the moment. But yeah, this will be a really good game. I think West Ham will get the job done. Calvin Phillips to give him a bit of a resurgence. 2-1, I'm going to go West Ham.
Cool. Final game of the match week. So Thursday morning on the EPL show, Football Today, we will basically talk about what's happened so far, quickly run through all the games except for this one because this is the only Friday morning game. I believe West Ham and Bournemouth is too, so we won't talk about those 2 games given we're talking about it here. We'll wrap up the other 8 games and then we'll look ahead to what's going to happen this weekend in match week 23. So that's the rundown for this week's shows.
Perfect.
Anyway, Wolves and Man United. Wolves at home. They won against West Brom in the FA Cup over the weekend. It looked cruisy, but it was a bit tougher than what it was there. Of course, you had the brawl in the crowd as well. Pedro Neto, I thought, was fantastic for Wolves.
Pops up every couple of weeks.
So good.
He's good, yeah.
And I know that United won 4-2 against Newport, but Jesus, it was
close.
It was 2-2 at one point.
Yeah, 2-2, yeah.
They did not look good, and good for Anthony. 100 million scored for the first time this season.
Hey, against Newport.
Against 17th place League 2 Newport. Good job, Anthony. I'm so proud of you.
He finally scored.
And celebrated like he'd scored the Champions League winner.
Oh, good on him. He's back. He's had a shocking season. I think he's probably just got a
shocking 18 months.
He's probably just had a bit of relief that's poured out of him since he scored that goal.
As we mentioned, scored against Newport.
Oh, I don't know about that. I saw you. We did some social clips. I don't know about that.
I'm sorry. Who won the overall day of challenges?
I can't remember.
This guy.
Until the edit comes out, I'm not sure what happened there. Yeah, I'm going to go Wolves. I said before this could be a doomsday. I think this will be really close because they're both sort of similar trajectories at the moment. It's sort of that mid-table. But as we said, Wolves look really good in the midweek, played a better team in West Brom. United looked really average against Newport. Maybe that was because of the Newport County fans out there. I don't know if they were going off, but yeah, I'm going to go Wolves.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I'm with Wolves as well at home. Ooh. They probably should have won that first game early this season. Yeah. And they didn't get that penalty late in the game. Right, yeah. Anyway, that is this week's Matchweek 22 run through there. We'll take a short break. We'll be back after this, and we will bring in Leo for the trivia question before we talk about basically everything else that's going on in the football world, and it's a lot.
Lock in for a huge summer of slog sixes, rattle bales, and classic snags with the daily Cricket Today podcast. Keep up to date with all things BBL, BBL Supercoach, tests, ODIs, and T20s this summer, as well as the highlights and socials all season long. Search Cricket Today on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Welcome back to the Football Today podcast. As we always start the second half of the program with, we bring in social guy Leo for a trivia question. Now, even though Marcus is away today, these points still count because I'm about to go away for 3 weeks. So I'm going to miss, 5 shows? So
we only have like 1 or 2 points between. I was about to say,
I'm backing myself to not be too far off you. But we're going to change it up a little bit because we've all sort of copied each other's answers when Leo's asked us questions. So Leo's going to start reading out the question and we're going to have a buzzer, or we may just say our name and give the answer. If Stats Guy or myself stops Leo halfway through the question and tries to answer it and gets it wrong, Leo finishes the question for the other person. You get a free shot. So
tactics.
This could be a tactical masterstroke or a big stuff up from someone on board. Take it away, Leo.
I'm nervous.
All right, boys. Apart from Caitlin Ford, which other Matilda was the highest rated player in the match?
Oh, in the match. Oh.
No, I'm going Matchweek. Katrina Gorry.
Correct.
Oh, nailed it! Yes!
I knew that she had an 8.3 rating. I saw that. I would have got that, but you got it before the question. Damn it!
Yes!
No, I genuinely could have got that one.
Takes the lead.
Oh, she was really good in that.
Yeah, and she also tried to break her neck in the celebration after the game.
Well, we actually looked all right, or you looked all right in a trivia question for once. We usually look a bit average. So
yes.
Well played.
I might wrap up the show now. I'm done.
That was a good question, though.
Good stuff, Leo.
Yeah, well done.
Thank you.
Well played.
Caitlin Ford scored again, by the way.
Yeah.
3 games in a row.
She's awesome.
And they wore this kit.
And they wore that kit. Nice.
Just celebrating the gals.
Nice.
All right. We usually just start off with transfer chat because this is the transfer window. But you know what? Let's talk about these coaches because that came out over the weekend and, well, our group chat kind of blew up a little bit, which is great. So we'll start off with Jurgen Klopp leaving Liverpool at the end of the season.
Crazy.
This was a shock because I don't think anyone saw this coming. Obviously, he'd always said that he didn't want to be a coach forever and stay at a club forever.
Fair enough, yeah.
I thought it was going to come at the end of 24-25 season. So I thought he would have done another season, but he is leaving in literally 5 months' time. First of all, thoughts?
It has been a long time. I just looked up how many years it's been. It's been 8 years, and coming into the 9th, I think. So he's obviously had an awesome career there. He's won everything pretty much with Liverpool. Sort of got him back up there. Obviously recruited some amazing players. I think he's been one of the best Premier League coaches in the modern era. And he's been the perfect sort of manager against Pep. I know Pep obviously still won everything at Man City, but it's been an awesome rivalry. And yeah, it's a bit sad that he's leaving. As Liverpool fans would be gutted, I think.
How good would his record be without going up against the juggernaut that is Manchester City Pep and the 115 charges?
Well, I had a look that he had 97, 98, 99 points in a few seasons where they didn't win the league.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And Man U, Alex Ferguson, obviously
They've lost by 1 point twice.
Yeah, but there's been a lot of other league wins where they only got 91, 92 points. If he was in another era, I think he's an absolutely awesome coach. He was also obviously awesome at Borussia Dortmund before that. He
basically hasn't had a break for like 20 years as well. So
no, he probably deserves a break.
The mental fortitude and strength that would, because you don't just think
7
about
days a week.
A coach. It's think of the away days. Think of in the off season, he's still trying to get players. He probably only gets 2 weeks off a year.
Yeah.
So massive credit to him. But as an Arsenal fan, I should hate him. But I love the way he goes about it because he is passionate. He brings the fans into the game and he carries on. And I can't really complain about him when I've got Mikel Arteta as the Arsenal manager.
Yeah, similar sort of vibe. But yeah, it's a bit out of nowhere. But it was going to have to come at some point, I guess. And I think he's probably thinking, oh, we could win the league. It'd be a good way to go out and things like that. I reckon that's in the back of his mind.
There's also that little conspiracy theorist that Virgil van Dijk is, 33 years old. Mo Salah's got 18 months on his contract. They may leave in the summer as well.
Van Dijk got asked this morning, I saw, are you going to stay at the end of the Jurgen Klopp era? And he said, not sure yet. So
wouldn't be shocked if Liverpool try and get some cash out of those two players this summer, especially considering they've already turned their midfield around. They've already turned their attacking side around, given they've got Nunez in as well. So yeah, big changing the guard at Liverpool, but the obvious question is who replaces him. I think there's one option, and every Liverpool fan also thinks there's one option.
Yeah, Xabi Alonso. Yeah, because he's obviously, they haven't lost at Leverkusen, so he's obviously doing that with a much, I'd say, worse team on paper. He comes into of course, everyone would say that. And he was obviously at Liverpool, played Liverpool a long time as well. So I think it's a pretty cool matchup if they could do that.
And you have a look, he's obviously got that connection with the fans from his time as a player. He's doing a great job in Germany. So I think if Liverpool can't get him, I think there's no idea who they would get, because he is someone you need to go after. I saw some people trying to say, Ernst for Liverpool. No,
I don't think he'll stay at Tottenham for a while.
Why would you jump from Tottenham in a squad that you're building, that you've built in this season so far, and then jump to Liverpool? Well, it just no.
I think the only thing that people say, he was like a Liverpool supporter, but once you're in the world, it doesn't matter who you support or things like that.
Doesn't make sense either. Like if Tottenham were going horrendously, okay, but then it's also like, why would Liverpool give you the chance?
Yeah, I think the thing is, people are going, Ange looks really good at Tottenham, then he could move up. But if he stays with Tottenham, they could go on a bit of a run in his career. So we'll see how we go.
Yep. And then it came out the next day that Xavi is going to leave Barcelona at the end of the season after they lost to Villarreal over the weekend. He's like, at the end of the season, I'm done. I did enjoy seeing people go, that's cute of you to think you'll last the end of the season, because they're not going great at the moment. That loss effectively killed off their title.
Yeah, where are they now? I'm just having a look. Fourth.
They're about 11 points off.
11 points off Girona, and 10 points off Real Madrid, so they're not going to win the league. It just hasn't worked out with a lot of past legends. Obviously, Frank Lampard. I saw a big post about all the past legends at their old clubs coaching.
Steven Gerrard.
Yeah, Stevie Gerrard, Stevie G. Obviously, a lot of guys. It doesn't work out. It happens in lots of sports, though. I guess there's a lot of pressure on a past legend to do really well as a manager.
You have a look in the AFL as well.
AFL,
take a look here. Like Michael Voss struggled originally. Nathan Buckley struggled. James Hird, obviously. It's there's some that work and some that don't.
There's extra pressure because everyone loves them already, and you want them to do really well, and it doesn't always work.
You can see that Xavi is a good manager.
Yeah.
It's just not working out at Barcelona with everything else, which that also then leads to who's going to replace him, and everyone's like, well, Mikel Arteta, you've got Roberto De Zerbi, and then there's a few other names around. Before I start yelling, I'm going to yell in a second.
Oh, really? I never heard you do that.
Who do you think? Like, I've got no idea. Unless it's a De Zerbi, I've got no idea. Who do you think?
De Zerbi's not a bad shout, actually, because I actually don't mind him. Yeah, I'm honestly not sure about Barca. Yeah, I haven't really given enough thought about it, to be honest.
Yeah, I haven't either. So I just want to get this off my chest because I saw
Here we go.
I saw media outlets yesterday. And
yes,
let's be honest, we're a media outlet too. So we're prone to doing stuff like this.
Yep.
Going, Mikel Arteta has told family and entourage or whatever that he intends to leave Arsenal to go to Barcelona at the end of the season. Let's get this first thing straight. It came from a pro-Barcelona outlet.
Oh, okay. And it was definitely fake, yeah.
It was 100% fake. Is a disgrace, as Mikel Arteta said. Now, why would Mikel Arteta want to leave Arsenal at the end of this current season, Stats Guy? Give me a logical reason.
The only logical reason is he's obviously from Spain. He played for Barcelona. They're the only two reasons, but then he's got about a million other reasons to stay with Arsenal. He's obviously going to be in the Champions League, going to be in sort of top three in the league and things like that. And he'd have to work from the bottom up to start with Barcelona, a very young squad. So I think he'd be staying at Arsenal. And he said to the media today that he loves it there. So
for anyone who thinks that Mikel Arteta will leave Arsenal, here is why he won't. He's finally cut all the dead weight from the squad, except for Cedric, that he didn't want. Cedric hopefully will leave in the next 2 days. He has finally built this dream squad that he wanted. He got Declan Rice in. The final piece of the puzzle is a striker coming up in the next transfer window. He has turned them around from a team that was 8th and struggling to one of the powerhouses in the Premier League. There is 3 clear best teams in the league at the moment, Arsenal, Liverpool and Man City.
Yep.
And the rest are playing for 4th, 5th, 6th, and then you've got your mid-table and so on. This has been a 2 to 3 year project since he started. Why would you jump off now to go to Barcelona? They are rebuilding the Camp Nou at this stage. They are playing at the Olympic Stadium, so you don't get the Camp Nou 100,000 people going off their chops every game. They are a rabble of a club behind the scenes.
Money-wise,
they've sold off 25% of their TV rights for the next 25 years.
Smart business.
They've got no money.
Yeah.
Last year, as in 2023 calendar year, it was told that their allowance to spend was slashed from 649 million to 270, nearly 400 million.
Jeez.
They've still got money to pay off transfers that they have deferred. So they're still paying for Philip Coutinho. After all these years. They're still paying for Griezmann even though he's not there anymore. Their debt is $1 billion. Yes, $1 billion. Mikel Arteta will not leave Arsenal this season. I feel like it makes too much sense, you idiots.
It does make sense, but I feel like if he goes, the passion coming out is going to be. Your head might blow off if he does go. But yeah, I agree. He literally said to the media, he's not going. You've just listed off some great reasons there. I'll give you that. He's definitely not going.
What I did enjoy was social media for the people who don't rate Arteta.
Yeah.
When the news came out that he was going to go to Barcelona, all the people suddenly jumped on that. Oh, this is horrendous for Arsenal. If you didn't rate him, why would it be horrendous for Arsenal?
Exactly.
Bloody social media hypocrites.
I'll have to agree on your rant there. Well played.
Thank you. Leo, clip that one up. I want to make people mad. Anyway, transfers. Again, not much is happening because everyone's broke.
I know. Everyone is broke. It's
apparently
sad.
Everyone's EAFC 24 player, Antonio Nusa, who comes from our favourite club in Europe outside of the English Premier League, Club Bruges.
Oh, yes.
Thank you, stats guy.
Club Bruges.
Jesus,
Sorry, I was looking at his stats and then I didn't realise he was Club Bruges. I love Club Bruges.
Absolute gun that everyone buys on FC 24. But apparently there's some issues coming through with this deal. Apparently just in the bottom pages of the contract. So this deal is in jeopardy because firstly, Brentford hijacked Tottenham, which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah.
But it does make sense. Go to it's a lesser club where you're going to be guaranteed time. And Brentford pay 30 million now, but they may get 70 million in 2-3 years.
Okay, that's pretty good then. Because if he's a young gun, how old is he? I just had a look.
19 or 20.
19 or 18. Oh. He's even younger. And he's going really well. Yeah, for Club Brugge. It's a good league over there, so don't mind that.
So apparently there's still some issues with the deal that are going to be ironed out. You've got till February 1st at midnight, so there's the extra day. That's also because there's league games on, so it gives the clubs an extra day to sort their crap out.
Yep.
Conor Gallagher and Broja are a chance of leaving Chelsea. Obviously, Gallagher would be great for FFP. It would also suck as Chelsea fans to lose Conor Gallagher because he's been very good this year.
Yeah, he doesn't always start or he's not always in the lineup, but when he is in the lineup, he's awesome. Him and Cole Palmer have just been controlling our midfield at Chelsea. Broja, I actually do really like Broja, but he's probably one of those guys that is worth a little bit, so it might be worth moving on him. We haven't really used him that much, so if you're not going to use him, but we could really use Conor Gallagher. Those type of
if you
midfielders
lose him, you are more screwed than you already are.
Oh yeah, those type of midfielders that are just really good, quick passes. So good to have in your team, especially in the Premier League. So I think I'll be gutted if Gallagher leaves. I actually really like Broja, so I'll probably be gutted if he leaves as well. But I can understand if we've got some money issues as we do with spending a lot of money.
Yeah, it's like that thing where you put the hole in the bottom of the paper cup and it slowly trickles out.
Yeah.
But for Chelsea, it's you just put holes in it everywhere and it just empties so quickly. It's like impossible to keep full.
Yes.
Finally, should Marcus Rashford leave Manchester United? This won't happen in the next 2 days, so don't try and aggregate me as being as one of those Mikel Arteta's leaving Arsenal dudes. Should he leave in the next transfer window? Because he got on the piss in Belfast last week, said he was sick and couldn't play in the FA Cup. It just seems like he's too good for Manchester United. It feels like it's run his course, and maybe he needs to go to a PSG or he needs to go somewhere in Spain or Germany or even Italy just to find that spark, because this season is just like, yeah, man, he doesn't care.
I think he's not, I wouldn't say a downhill scare, but when Man U's playing well, he's playing well. So they obviously finished top four last year, and that was his best season in his career last year.
Yeah.
So I think obviously they're not going too well towards the middle part of the table.
And
he's just not getting enough ball up there. Like you said, if he goes to another team and someone offers him a bit of money, even if it's not as big a contract, he could score a lot more goals, get a lot more minutes and shots on target. So I wouldn't mind him leaving, but I don't think he ever will. I think he loves Man U. He's been there his whole life.
Yeah, but maybe he's sick of it. It's Manchester.
He might be, yeah. I think he loves it. I saw a funny photo of that party he was at. He was doing his head celebration, in the club as a
Oh
photo.
my God, what
He
am I
can't score.
thinking
Yeah.
being here on a Wednesday night when we play on Friday?
Well, someone said he's putting these in the club for the photos because he's not getting a chance to score and celebrate himself. So, yeah, that's pretty sad. But I wouldn't mind seeing him leave, actually, because he's one of those guys that is a really good player, not getting enough opportunities up front, I don't think. So, yeah, we'll see. I don't think he will for a while.
I reckon he'll leave in summer. I reckon he'll leave. All right, Aussies in action over the weekend. Well, we already talked about it in the trivia question. Katrina Gorry was best on ground as West Ham won, but more importantly, she tried to break her neck in the celebration.
No, I saw that. What the
It's
hell?
hilarious. And the commentators are, oh no, this is very bad. It's like, it's Katrina Gorry, dude. Just relax.
She had some hops for a mini.
I couldn't jump that high.
No, she jumped on one of her teammates and started celebrating. Oh, she's going to break her neck and her teammate's neck.
The funniest thing was Mackenzie Arnold just started laughing. It's like, yeah, this is
his
mini.
classic mini. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
As said, Arsenal won 2-0 over Liverpool. Ford scored again, and she's playing in fantastic form. It also goes to my theory of she's one of the best players in the world.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to argue this point till death, that she's the most important player in the Matildas lineup going towards the Olympics. That includes if Sam Kerr was fit.
Yep.
Because I know Sam Kerr, great striker and everything, but I think Caitlin Ford on that wing is the most important player, an integral part of what Australia needs to do to ideally win something.
Yep.
Mary Fowler is not playing much at the moment.
No, it surprised me because she started really well.
Yeah, going from averaging 60 to 80 minutes a game to averaging like 12. She didn't get any minutes on the weekend. I don't know what's going on there. I blame Nathan Cleary.
She's still playing Nathan Cleary, yeah. But blame the NRL guy. She's only played 11 matches. Maybe it's just because she's early, but she was starting when she first moved over. So it is a little bit of a worry, but I think she's still young. So.
I was about to say, I'm not as worried because she's so young that maybe it's probably good for her body
Feels like
after playing so much last season through the World Cup, through the qualifiers. I think this is just her body just going, yeah, this is
rest.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because think about it, like if she starts getting a couple of injuries, she'll keep getting injured and injured and injured. Think of Reece James.
Yeah, I always think of Reece James on that. Yeah,
I know
when she
you
was
do.
playing.
Yeah. And finally, Ellie Carpenter is looking strong for Leon. She is like their, not mascot, she's like the lead singer of their songs.
I've been watching, I wrote this down, her awesome post-game chants. I can't understand it because they're in French, but they are awesome. She gets the whole team
She's the head of vibes.
Oh, she's head of vibes, and she's not one of those head of vibes guys like the Man City guy, the keeper that doesn't get a game. She's one of their better players on the right back. They're first in the French league, first in their Champions League group, absolutely killing it by a long way. They won 7-0 in the Champions League last week. But her post-game chants are awesome. If you want to check them out, just search Carpenter chants and things like that. It's very, very funny in the rooms, banging the table and just going off. I absolutely love it. And it's funny. She's only been there 2 months and she's speaking fluent. Like,
no, she hasn't.
6 months is it?
Yeah,
something like that. 6 months. My bad. It's been a long, quick season. It feels like
you're losing your
It's probably
mind.
6 months actually. Yeah, but she's leading the team. It's awesome. Yeah. In
All
French.
right. Finally, take us through Australia winning 4-0 against Indonesia in the Asian Cup. We won. People are trying to complain. We won 4-0. Who cares?
Yeah, I was going to do a little bit of complaining, but we did win 4-0. I'm very happy over Indonesia. They actually had a lot more of the ball in the first half, which was a bit weird. They attacked a bit better. We just sat back a little bit too much when we know we're the better side. We won 4-0, so we got to take that. We play either South Korea or Saudi Arabia, who's two of the best teams in the Asian side of soccer, so I'm a bit worried about that. I'd probably rather play Saudi Arabia just because South Korea, as we mentioned in the build-up to this tournament, have a lot of stars, but Saudi Arabia are playing really well as a team. I'm not really feeling Arnie Ball. Graham Arnold, he's playing guys in the wrong positions. Boyle was really good though. Martin Boyle on the wing, he scored a goal. 4-0 though, I can't complain too much. We got the job done. But just when we come up against these bigger teams, it's going to be a bit of a struggle. But we'll see how we go. Hopefully we can keep it going.
And just back to your point, Ellie Carpenter has been at Leon since 2020.
Oh, geez. Yeah. That's flown by. Yeah. COVID, it just feels like it was a couple months ago.
Good stuff. That's great.
I've only been here a couple months, haven't I?
Yeah. Tell you what, you're still on probation, mate.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, so fantasy chats, obviously we've got the game week this week and then straight into the weekend stuff. So what are you doing here? Obviously, Hahn's still not fit. Salah still away. Son's still away. So this is my lineup for this week. Mm-hmm. I got David Raya in goals with Saliba, Virgil van Dijk, and Pedro Porro in defence. I've gone 4 in the midfield. Bukayo Saka, Cole Palmer, Phil Foden, and Kevin De Bruyne.
Don't mind it.
Up front, Ollie Watkins, Dominic Solanke, and Darwin Núñez, which means my bench is Areola, Tarkovsky, Anthony Gordon, and Cash.
That's a pretty good team. You could even bench boost that, I reckon. I don't mind that. The big question is who to captain. I've got Watkins and De Bruyne in my team, as you mentioned before. I'd be leaning towards Watkins just because Newcastle have been going too well. I think it's going to be a really high-scoring game. If it's a really high-scoring game, you're going to see Watkins score at least 1, maybe 2 goals, I reckon, against Newcastle. Because De Bruyne, it's annoying because he could play 20 minutes like he did the other week and get a goal and assist. But that's a very risky thing because they did say he's not going to start. Pep said he's still on restricted minutes.
He's still got 24 points.
Yeah,
2 weeks ago.
I know he got 24 points as captain. So I'd be leaning towards Watkins as captain. I've still got Haaland, which has been a bit.
I told you a month ago,
but I've been scoring better with Haaland on my bench, so I've did a bit of a wild card. Richarlison as well. I mentioned him the other week. I still think what's his price in fantasy? 7 mil still. I think that's a really good price for a guy that's scoring every week. So yeah, I'd be picking Richarlison and Watkins as your must-haves, and then Watkins as captain.
For the record, Watkins is my captain. I've got Bukayo Saka as my vice. I got Faith, Starboy. Come on.
He's been a bit off.
I know, but I'm hoping the break's done him a world of good.
Yeah, he probably needed a break. He doesn't stop that.
And he shaved that gold crap out of his hair. As soon as he shaved that out of his hair, Arsenal started scoring goals and winning again. It might be a coincidence, but it definitely isn't. It
definitely isn't.
We didn't win a game with that gold crap in his hair. So
that is, They're like, we can't do this anymore, but guys, just shave it off.
Yeah. Anyway, on that high note, we're done and dusted today for Matchweek 22 of the EPL. Make sure you check out Football Today on all the social medias. What do we got? TikTok, X, Instagram, Facebook, all doing some good stuff there. There's some stuff going up at the moment from when we've recorded a bunch of stuff over the last week. Some cool little shorts that, leave a comment. Call me an idiot. That's fine. I nearly killed Stats Guy when he put Caitlin Ford as third in his Matilda rankings. I was so mad. I was really. You'll see it in the video. He's like, "What's going on?" there? Actually, it's me getting ready to murder him, as well as Marcus trying to wind everyone up with all of his thoughts and processes on everything. Please go to Apple Podcasts and subscribe to the show. Leave us a 5-star review. Leave a comment. Same on Spotify, please and thank you. It would be really nice. I think that's about it, Stats Guy. I think we're done. Thank you. Good stuff today. Shout out to not Marcus. He's away on holiday still. Shout out to Geraldo behind the camera and social guy Leo for an awesome question this week. Get that lead into ya. Anyway, we're done and dusted. We'll catch you later this week. We'll catch you on Thursday for Football Today.